Hi guys, Stay-Patient here, back with Life is Strange episode 2. I'm going to be taking you through all the optional photo opportunities which will get you the trophies or achievements depending on what you're playing on. Now I do apologise for the lateness of this video. I didn't get around to playing episode 2 for a while, but I'm playing it now, and I figured I did promise that I would do a guide for each episode, so here we are, better late than never I suppose. Anyway, we're going to go to play episodes and episode 2 Out of Time. Now you're going to want to complete the story right the way through on your own first, because it is a fun story, you know, it's an interesting premise and the characters are all very relatable and believable, so it is fun playing through this game. You don't want any spoilers on your first playthrough, so complete it first and then you can very easily come back to the chapter select screen, which is where we are now, and it will tell you which chapters have collectibles in and whether you already have them or not. So we're going to start in the girls dormitory, chapter 1, and of course you're going to want to click on play this chapter in collectible mode, and that means it's not going to overwrite any of your decisions or any of the things that you did during the playthrough. It's not going to remove them and replace them with what you do now, because of course we're going to be running through nice and quick. We're going to be ignoring all of the optional little activities that you can take part in, you know, the things that you can change with your time manipulation ability. There are lots of people you can help out, and there's actually slightly more interesting ways that you can use the time rewind feature on this episode. The first episode felt a little bit mundane with the sort of things that you could use the time manipulation on, but this they've sort of improved the use of that ability in this second episode, I think, anyway. And I enjoyed it. I sort of bought more into the premise. The first episode I didn't really know what to expect, so I wasn't really in the right mindset, but anyway, we're here on chapter 1, and there is a bit of gameplay before you can get to the first collectible, but I'm going to show you the entire process just so that you know exactly what needs to be done, because a lot of you of course are going to be doing this via chapter select. So I'm going to show you the quickest way to get through the chapter to reach the point that you need to get to in order to take the photo. So we start off in bed here. We're going to get up as soon as it gives us the prompt, and then we're going to grab our shower gear and head straight for the shower. I've turned the volume of the game down because my first collectible video, you know, you couldn't really hear what I was saying, and I didn't go back and redo it because people could still figure out what I was doing. But anyway, here we are. There's your shower supplies on your chest of drawers there. But yeah, like I say, I've turned the volume down so that you can hear what I'm saying, hear the instructions a bit better. We're going to come out of our room, we're going to head left. We're going to ignore all these interactions that we can take part in because we're doing this in collectible mode, and that means that none of the things we do now are going to have any impact on our actual playthrough. Now if we try and head for the shower, Kate's going to stop us, but I believe it's a shorter conversation if we do head straight for the shower. She's just going to mention about the book that she wants you to take back to her, and it's at that point that we're going to be able to take the photo. So we need to have our shower, head back to our room, get the book, and then head to Kate's room, and then the first opportunity will be right there. It is getting better, I think. The first episode, like I said, I did enjoy it, but it didn't really grab me straight away. But this second episode, I'm not sure that it's because it's any better necessarily, but because you know what to expect and you kind of know what tone the game's going to take. You don't expect any big sort of Hollywood over-the-top sequences, you know, like you might get in a Telltale game or something. You know that it's going to be more realistic and true to life. And once you accept that and once you buy into that premise, then it's actually very good. I really enjoyed it, and I'm getting sort of sucked into the story. All these characters are very believable, down to the text messages you get, even small details like that. You've got your phone and you receive text messages from people, and there's always that kind of awkwardness. You know, there's a guy that you're quite good friends with, but he's got a girlfriend, and the awkwardness of your text between him and you. Just little touches like that make it very relatable and believable, I think, and it's becoming quite an enjoyable episodic adventure. And there is very interesting uses of the time rewind. You can see how speaking to people in different ways results in the conversation going a very different way, and them feeling totally differently about you at the end of the conversation, depending on what you say. And you can kind of learn things about people by talking to them. And they might have a go at you and get angry with you and say something that you can then rewind and use to show that you are showing interest in them personally. And it really is interesting. It makes you think about real life, how the things you say, whatever you choose to say to someone can totally change your relationship with them. And it is very realistic. It's quite nicely done. I do think the whole decision making process and all the little touches like that the Telltale games started, they've got those mechanics. This seems to improve on them in some ways. Anyway, with that said, we are going to leave the bathroom. We're going to head back to our room, and we're going to grab the book that we borrowed from Kate and also get dressed, and then we can head to Kate's room and take the first photo. I am going to need to split this into 2 videos because I'm uploading it directly from the PS4 share feature, and so I only have 15 minutes of record time available. But anyway, we're going to go to this table next to the sofa. We're going to search the papers and find the book, but knock our drink over on it. So let's use the trusty rewind feature and grab the book. Now we can head over to where we got our shower supplies and get some clothes. Exactly the same clothes as she wore in the first episode, I believe. And then we can head out, and Kate's room, if you remember correctly, is just to the left of I forget the name of the girl that lives opposite you. She's the one that's nasty. But anyways, this one to the left. And we can take the photo as soon as we enter the room. It's on the left hand side. We've got the rabbit in the cage, and that's the photo op. Nice and simple. Now we're going to quit out to the main menu and go to chapter 2. So episodes, out of time. Chapter 2 is Dormitories Morning and collectible mode again. Now this one is right at the start of the chapter, so it's nice and quick and easy. We're going to head to a location where there was actually a photo op in the first episode, if I remember correctly. And I believe it involved a squirrel again, because it's going to be a squirrel this time as well. So we're going to run to the far right of the area. There's a bench with a bin next to it. We are going to look in the bin, and as soon as we do, it's going to give us the option to use something, which is going to be some food that we're going to pop onto the bench here. Now that squirrel is going to go and grab the food, but we need to be out of the way so that it's not too scared to come over. And once it's got to the food, it's not going to run away if we approach it. We can approach it, take a photo, and that's the second collectible done. Still doesn't run away even with a flash in its face. So back to the main menu. Back to our chapters here, and we're going to go to the diner. The diner chapter has 3 collectibles in, and all 3 of them can be reached right from the beginning of the chapter, which is great for us. The first one is the sign above the cafe, which is a big whale. I think the cafe is called Two Whale Cafe or something along those lines. The next one is going to be around the back of the cafe. There's a dog through a fence, and the third one is inside the toilet inside the cafe. So we're going to grab all those now. I don't believe this scene goes on for too long. There we are. Nice graphics on this game as well. Nice and realistic. So here we are. There's the sign above the cafe. It's right in front of us. As we start, we need to be stood in the right place, and you'll see the prompt come up there, photo. Then we will run around to the back. So we're running all the way around. Now there's a nice lot of stuff you can interact with here, and there's some interesting information you can receive from talking to people and interacting with different things. But we're just going to bypass all that, all the way around to the back to the fence here, and we can take a photo of the dog through the fence. And then we're going to head into the cafe. And there is some writing on the mirror in the bathroom or the toilet area, the restroom I should say. So head inside, and in the back left corner is the restroom here. Seems to be unisex, it's a bit odd, but on the mirror here we can take a photo of, I believe it says "Fire Walk with Me," a reference that I don't understand myself, so maybe someone could explain it in the comments. But there we go, that's that chapter done with. Exit out to the main menu. Now I'm going to stop the upload here and start again on a second video, so I will upload both together. Just click on the link. I'll have a link on the actual video and in the description for the second part of this, so I will catch you all there. Thanks guys.